I have a question for you. Are you appalled by the anti-Semitism that is around you all the time now, in the press, television, print, wherever? Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse in America, this morning's headlines had to shake you to the core.
A man and woman, both staffers at the Israeli embassy, were killed. A man detained and handcuffed by event security was heard chanting, "Free, free Palestine."
And I will not mince words when I tell you the real story. Here are the headlines that I'm talking about. Shooting near Capital Jewish Museum leaves 2 Israeli embassy officials dead. Authorities said the suspect shouted, "Free, free Palestine," after being taken into custody. Netanyahu, embassy staff killing a result of blood libels against Israel. Look, the story is still developing, but here's the basis. Yaron Lashinsky, an Israeli citizen, actually a Christian, Israeli Christian, 30 years old, and Sarah Milgram, an American from Overland Park, Kansas. How middle American can you get? Overland Park, Kansas, 26 years old. The 2 of them were shot and killed outside the Capital Jewish Museum in D.C. late Wednesday. Now, these young people were in love. In fact, they were about to be engaged. Yaron had just purchased an engagement ring and was just days away from popping the question. He was going to propose on a planned trip to Jerusalem. Now, he was born in Germany, raised in Israel since he was 16. So here you have a couple, an Israeli Christian and an Overland Park, Kansas Jewish girl, in love, not bothering anybody. The suspected terrorist, Elias Rodriguez. He has ties to the radical left group that spearheaded Black Lives Matter, fiercely advocates on behalf of Palestinians. That's okay. If you want to advocate, and we're in a country with free speech, and you want to do that, and you want to exercise your right to free speech, you can do that. This isn't free speech. This is murder.
He was yelling "Free Palestine," and he kept yelling "Free Palestine." I, tried to hand him his keffiyeh back because I didn't really realize that he murdered 2 people.
This is someone that is suspected and will, I'm sure, be indicted and charged with murder. Cops say he was chanting "Free, free Palestine." Now, it's also disturbing how some legacy media treated this as a run-of-the-mill street crime. Reuters headline, get this, 2 Israeli embassy staffers shot dead in downtown Washington, lone suspect held. Now, let me ask you something. Is that true? Yes, that's true. Is it accurate? Not even almost. That is true, but it is not accurate. Everything they said was true. There were 2 people on the streets in D.C. that were shot and killed. That part's true. Is it accurate? No. They were right outside a museum, and the gunman was shouting free Palestine" on arrest. Left that part out. Why? Why? Why leave that part out? The organization Honest Reporting compiled the following headlines to show how media blurs anti-Semitism. The BBC's analyst all but blamed Israel. The headline, "Shooting follows global criticism of Israel's expanding Gaza offensive." Really? So that is something that's being offered to make this okay? Link these 2 together, and so it trivializes what happened on the streets of Washington, D.C. in the United States of America? You have to ask yourself when we, the people, are going to get tired of this kind of spin. Think what you want about Gaza. Think what you want about Palestine. Think what you want about how Netanyahu is managing this effort. But don't try to say it's okay to go shoot 2 innocent people to death on the streets of our nation's capital. The Daily Beast tried to link the murder in D.C. to an incident in the West Bank hours earlier, citing an Al Jazeera report where the IDF fired, quote, warning shots near foreign diplomats. I don't know. I guess the bottom line is anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. By denying Israel's right to exist, you deny the right for Jewish survival anywhere in the world. This is what I'm talking about. Yesterday, TV, which monitors and translates Arab television, posted this sermon from a mosque in Norman, Oklahoma.
Since day one, brothers and sisters, since before Musa alayhi salam, Banu Israel, this is how they were and this is how they will always be. Wallahi, this is how they will always be. Cowards. Cowards, may Allah give them what they deserve. Betraying, backstabbing people. The same thing that they claim the Holocaust happened to us, they are committing upon others. May Allah give them what they deserve. Ameen.
We're not talking about Iran. This is Norman, Oklahoma, right outside of Oklahoma City, in the middle of America. In my Real Story podcast earlier this week, I made it clear, when you attack Israel, you attack Jews around the world. Now, like I said, you can disagree with the Israeli government. Even Israelis do. They're kind of like we are here. They disagree with a lot of things that we do here. We've got Democrat, we've got Republicans. They disagree with what the government's doing. I get it. And Israelis do the same thing. A lot of them support Netanyahu, a lot of them don't. And you may be the same way. You may think there needs to be a ceasefire, there needs to be more aid given in Gaza, there needs to be all kinds of things going on. I understand that. But using free speech to express your thoughts and feelings and what you think needs to happen, and aggressing against other people, shooting people down in the streets are two different things. That's not free speech. That's criminal action. That's cowardly. And if you give any moral justification for October 7th, Hamas, or these other radical Islamic beliefs, you need to take a good look in the mirror, because you have to own what's happening. Does that mean you're guilty of murder? No, it does not. But you have to ask yourself, are you doing anything to turn down the rhetoric? That's the real question, and that's the real story. Be sure to follow and subscribe to The Real Story. It's available on all podcast players and YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Dr. Phil here. Your savings are at risk. With the economy on shaky ground, the dollar losing value, and a $2 trillion deficit, things could spiral. Don't wait for the worst. Take control of your financial future now. I trust Preserve Gold to safeguard my accounts, and I urge you to do the same. They're the only precious metals company I recommend. What are you going to do to protect what's yours? Claim your special offer and learn how to reinforce your financial future. Visit drphilgold.com to get your free precious metals guide from Preserve Gold. With gold prices recently breaking records and analysts predicting this trend to continue through 2025, you cannot afford to wait. As a bonus, you can get up to $15,000 with a qualified purchase from Preserve Gold. So don't wait. Visit drphilgold.com today.